Okay, so I would like to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, right now in the status quo, many of top universities in the world, especially in the US, have established these cash cow programs. For example, like the University of Southern California offers an online master in social work that costs more than $100,000, even though most social work jobs pay less than annually. And there are also many online MBS and computer science master programs at universities like, for example, like Columbia or Johns Hopkins that are very expensive, but offer minimal professor interaction and learning value. These programs attract students who are desperate for a big name degree or quick skill upgrade, but what they get is often a low quality education at high cost. Um, so first, before I move to the argument, I will frame how this debate gonna work. So in this debate, we are not against universities getting money. We understand that funding is necessary for institutions to survive. However, what we regret is the intentional creation of cash cow programs, which are degree or non-degree programs created primarily and solely for revenue generation, not for educational merit, not for academic excellence, and not to serve the needs of students or society. So these programs are usually characterized by very high tuition fees, low academic standards, and are marketed to people as a shortcut or prestige-based degree. So we believe that this is harmful to education and to students in general. So there are two arguments that we're going to debate in this motion. The first one is that the programs commodity education and reduce academic integrity, and the second one is about these programs worsen inequality and distort university priority. So So, the first argument then, universities are supposed to be institutions of learning, research, and social development. But cash cow programs turn education into a product, not a mission. When the goals becomes making money, everything else, like for example, like quality, fairness, and values, becomes secondary. And let me explain how this happened. So, in cash cow programs, the university often lowers admission standards because their goal is to get more students in and collect more tuition, not to select the best fit candidates. They also often cut costs on things like professor time, live classes, or academic service. For example, many of these programs are taught by adjuncts or pre-record lectures, even though students are paying premium prices. The result is that the quality of the degree suffers, and it also damages the reputation of that field and that institution itself. Let me give you an example. For example, like if a university sells an online MBA with no live session and no admission um, exam for about $70,000, employers may stop trusting MBS from that school altogether, and even the ones from serious in-person programs. Moreover, students themselves are being missed. They believe that paying more means getting better education, but instead they get a fancy certificate and a very little value. It's a betrayal of trust between the university and the students. Another example is the USC Masters in social work had many students complain that they are not getting enough support or job placement after paying such high fees. Some even file lawsuits. That's not a program helping society. It's a business with a diploma at the end. The opposition might say that these programs are optional or students can choose whether to enroll or not, but we say when students are desperate for opportunities, when they come from other countries or, for example, under pressure to success, they may be vulnerable to this kind of marketing. So choice becomes less meaningful when the information isn't fully transparent or when the student is under economic pressure. Second argument then. These programs worsen inequality and distort university priority. So, cash cow programs might bring in money, but at what cost? They change the way the university sees its own mission and who it serves. University begins to prioritize programs that make money rather than programs that are actually needed by society. For example, like humanities or basic science might get cut or receive less support, while the flashy, expensive tech or business programs get the attention. This distort academic balance and weaken areas that are essential but not profitable. Even worse, these programs are often designed for wealthy students or international students who can pay high tuition. That means education becomes less accessible to those who actually need it the most. So instead of being engines of upward mobility, universities turn into a gatekeepers of privilege. Another example like this. Imagine a student from developing country who sees an expensive online computer science program from a US university, for example. They set a loan to join, thinking it's an investment in their future, but the job market is fine, the skill set are outdated, and they graduate with debt and no advantage. Meanwhile, the university profits and move on. The opposition might argue that these programs help fund the rest of the university, but we challenge that claim. If the money really went to supporting low-income students or, for example, public interest research, maybe we could agree. But But most of the time, this money goes to marketing, admin salaries, or expanding more cash cow programs. So the cycle will continue. The opposition might also argue that these programs increase access through online formats. But again, we say low-cost online education with high quality is good, but overpriced, under-delivering programs are not. Access is not the same as exploitation. So in the end, we are creating two tiers of university. The first one is for real learning, and the second one is for rich students buying diplomas. So at the end of the day, we must remember what universities are meant to be. Universities are meant to be a place of growth, fairness, and contribution to society. But by building cash cow programs just for money, universities betray their mission, hurt students, and they make education as a whole. We cannot support a system that prioritizes revenue over reality, marketing over mentorship, and tuition over the truth. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, we're proud to propose this motion. Thank you.